Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at NECA's new Alien, no that's not a stutter, I'll save those for later because I'm not sleeping again, 40th anniversary prototype suit, Alien. And this thing is, as far as I can tell, and I don't like memorize every little part of the Xenomorph's bodies because they're all so similar, and I don't really care for Xenomorphs because they don't have any character. I prefer Predators. You can fight about that in the comment section below. But this is actually a really cool one, despite the fact that as far as I can tell, it reuses maybe all the parts. Maybe a couple are unique. I'm pretty sure they have the skull and the clear carapace and other figures. So maybe those are slightly different, maybe they're the same, hard to say without having a side-by-side. Anyway, it's very cool looking. I love this thing personally, and objectively they did a really good job capturing the look, so it's very nice. Let's go ahead and take it off the stand so we can take a closer look. This thing stands, let's just say about 23 centimeters. That's pretty close, which makes it just about 9 inches. Got a little bit of height to him, very slender, pretty much your standard big chap build as far as I can tell. And he is made, it is made, out of basically all milky, clear, yellowish plastic. And it's kind of gross looking, but that's what it's supposed to look like. This is a really good recreation of this, and I love it objectively. They did a great job. And what I think is really cool, and hopefully I can show this to you, I don't know how well it's going to show up. It appears that they did a gold wash, which means there's little bits of gold metal flake stuck around the figure in the recesses. I guess it's showing up pretty well, and it gives the right look. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it does create the shading they wanted, and it looks really nice. And then there is a dry brush on top to bring out all those details, which is obviously just, I mean, this is what NECA does. They have the sculpted details on these aliens like crazy, and the basic paint job of dry brushing and washing makes it stand out wonderfully. For the head, it's a very clear top piece, which we don't normally get to see, and that's very cool. You can see all the good stuff inside, the little skull-like shape in the front. The teeth are very well painted on this one. Sometimes they're a little sloppy. At least on mine, they're very clean, and they're kind of like a bronzy, not quite bronze, but slightly off silver color, and it looks really cool. We have the, well, we'll get into the articulation later. Don't get ahead of myself. Painted fingernails and toenails again. Maybe you could call them claws, but they match the teeth. All in all, it looks just like you would expect it to look like. They did a good job with it, so 9 out of 10 for the aesthetic. It looks really good. As for accessories, there are none, so 0 out of 10. And now it's time for the articulation. For the head, we have a ball peg. It could be a double. I do believe it is a double. You see that shift you can accomplish? That means it's a double. So because of that, you would think you'd have a lot of range, but you really don't. These neck tubers right here don't give you a ton of play. So I would be very careful when posing this guy. Technically, the head will be able to do it, but you don't want to risk tearing those out. So just play with it. I'm gonna say it doesn't have much, just so people don't yank on it and rip things, but these are definitely gonna limit you. This will pop off, and you can lean the head farther back, and you should be okay if you want to do that. This is common. Alright, for the shoulders, we've seen this before for sure. Let's see how it actually functions. Just about horizontal. Full rotation, of course, other than the shoulder pad being slightly angled, so that's pretty standard. Double jointed elbow gives plenty of range, not quite as much as I would expect. Maybe you could play with it a little bit more and get a little bit more range, but it's still better than 90. And that's where you're going to get your bicep swivel. It swivels at the top and at the bottom of the joint, so that's fine. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. This guy's joints are pretty stuck. Be very careful. I don't think it's the plastic. I think it might be the paint. So a little bit of warmth should free this guy up pretty effectively. Double jointed torso, a little bit looser than I'd like, but not floppy by any means, so it shouldn't be an issue unless you try to pose them like doing some popping and lot. What's the dancing where they spin around on their heads and stuff? If you pose them doing that, you might have issues, but as far as xenomorphs go, this should be fine. It's not particularly loose. What is that dancing called? Holy crap. Whatever. Put some cardboard down, spin on your head, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the hips go pretty far out to the side. The diaper doesn't get in the way there. They are a little bit looser than I'd like for sure. I haven't had any floppiness issues with the figure anyway, and that's okay. That's pretty good, I guess. As far as going forward, the diaper does get in the way. Can we tuck it in? Yes, you can tuck the leg in. It's definitely, if you do that, you have to be careful because it's still going to try to stretch the diaper. And even though it's split in the front, it's glued down. So be careful with that. I wouldn't go any farther than that. So that's what we're going to consider the range, which is probably enough. He looks like he's chasing somebody. That's good enough, I guess. Not too floppy going forward and back, just side to side a little bit, but even then it's not really flop. The eye swivel is in there, but seems very minimal. Double jointed knee gives you all the range. All the range. Top one is a swivel as well, though you probably won't use it. It will swivel in there, right there, if you want that. And then lastly, we have the feet. And for the feet, we have a ball peg, which is not as tight as I would like. I thought that little lump right there was a peg for a joint, but it's not. So it's just a ball peg. It'll do. Like I said, especially with the tail, I don't think he's going to fall over or anything, but it definitely could be tighter. Range is enough, but nothing crazy. And then the toe hinge is actually really nice. They do them the way they should, which is that it's nice and flush everywhere once you bend the foot. There's no huge chunks hanging anywhere. So that's exactly how you do that toe hinge, and it's nice and stiff. So that's what she said, and that's a good thing. I guess second lastly is the tail is bendy. I don't usually bother mentioning that, but the tail is bendy and it works nicely, so that's cool. So articulation on this guy is definitely satisfactory for a Xenomorph. Could it be better? Probably. Could it be worse? For sure. Yeah. 8, I guess. 8 seems reasonable. It can pretty much do what you want it to do. I would prefer some less floppiness here and there, but it's not too bad. So final verdicts on this thing. If you collect NECA aliens, you know exactly what you're getting. You just really needed to see what it looked like, and if anything was particularly bad, and it's not, and it looks cool, so you know exactly what you're going to do if you're going to buy it or not, but I'll give it a rating anyway. I will say 8. As far as NECA's aliens go, this is among them. It is the same thing, just in different colors, essentially. So like I didn't do the jaw. Specifically after I said I was going to do the jaw later, my brain didn't brain. So the jaw is hinged and the inside jaw comes out. Got it covered. Same as all the other aliens. It's always a little bit too loose in there, but you can make it work. So, okay. Yeah, 8 for all the aliens. It's what you figured it would be. Nothing notable as far as problems, and it does look really cool. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to, because I have new videos out almost every single day, and thousands just waiting for you to look at, just sitting on my channel. They're older. Some of them are newer, but there's lots of them. So check those out. And in the meantime, keep collecting.